Many in the media and maybe some investors missed why Tesla's Robotaxi event was so important. Sure, details were light, but stop and think about what they showed and consider how easily Tesla could expand not only this okay-ish looking car to its wider existing fleet of millions of vehicles. Well, now you could potentially have a business that's not only worth billions but trillions. And that will change our taxi and Uber world. But will it really change that much? And what about this bullshit, Elon? More on that soon. But first, let's go over what they showed. A two-door sports coupe vehicle that looks a lot like a Honda Insight. I don't mind the look of it, but it definitely has some old school vibes. It seats just 2 people, which is why it has a massive boot. Great for riders with luggage. It also has a lot of functional and clever elements that will lower manufacturing costs with things like the clamshell bonnet design, meaning it's less complicated to build. Instead of having several components on the front end, it's only just got the one, sort of. The doors are framed, motorized and winged and provide greater rigidity to the door, just in case a person grabs it in a weird way, which happens all the time when you've got frameless glass windows. Right, Tesla owners, don't you just freak out when you see someone grabbing the glass and moving the door? Yeah, you know what I mean. So anyway, this wing design also means that less space is needed for door opening and riders are removed from operating it, which, let's face it, will mean lower chances of damage to nearby cars or potential injuries to cyclists or pedestrians. There are cost savings here too, such as a metal roof instead of glass. It's minimalist interior, which will make cleaning a breeze, or maybe make it easier for the robots to do, because, well, they should be able to do that, right? And a good point here is that they'll have wireless charging capability. So between the robot cleaning service and being able to get the car recharged without the individual, the human, will mean that this car could be, in theory, put out to work for you 24/7, and you as the owner need not do anything. And finally, there is no steering wheel or driving pedals, so they can be sold anywhere in the world. After the usual NCAP or ANCAP or whatever country you might live in, after those sort of regulatory bodies for the safety checks, once they get approval for that in the one country, they typically get them applied everywhere else. So let's unpack its potential, noting that a lot of media commentators got this particular point wrong, but they also got some things right. First is that it seats 2. Now, this is actually clever for several reasons. A high percentage of taxi or Uber rides are actually single riders. It reduces weight and therefore running costs. Its smaller footprint should mean that it's got a smaller turning circle. That's going to be great in the cities where maybe the car will need to do a U-turn to pick up that next ride. You could also argue it will attract riders to the Tesla taxi service, whatever that might look like, as the front row and the only row. So if you skipped my earlier bit, catch up on that features just by rewinding and subscribe whilst you're there. So anyway, where was I? 2 riders will get a great experience in this car. They'll be able to watch a TV show, play some games, maybe catch up on some much needed sleep after a night duty shift. It's going to be definitely a game changer. But it also means if you have 3 or more people in your group, well, you have to settle for a Tesla Model 3 or Y that's been added to the Tesla taxi network. And I don't know about you, but I really do wish they had shown more of this app. There's only a very brief glimpse in this video. Maybe it's not ready yet, or maybe there's a lot more to this story because, let's face it, when Josh Dings, Director of Public Policy and Business Development, Nagesh Saldhi, Chief Information Officer, Mark Van Imp, Global Vehicle Automation and Safety Policy Lead, and Daniel Ho, Head of Vehicle Programs and New Product Integration, these all very senior positions who reported to Elon Musk and carry some very significant portfolios that are involved in some way with autonomy. Their public announcements to leave Tesla in the last month is very concerning. But I diverge. The real reason that Tesla went with a 2-seater is to avoid the Osborne effect. Consider this. They could have revealed a brand new electric vehicle that carries 5. So that much anticipated makeover of the Model Y, the 2025 version, with no steering wheel or driver pedals, what would happen to sales today of the Model Y? People would stop buying them and wait for this car instead. This is the future. This is what people want. Something that gives them time to do some work, watch some TV, play some games, or just rest. If Tesla can get regulatory approval for driverless vehicles like they've shown through the leaps and bounds in full self-driving, it will be a game changer. Tesla's strategic move to introduce a more affordable two-door, two-person vehicle demonstrates a commitment to expanding their market reach without sacrificing the brand. This innovative approach positions Tesla in a more accessible and inclusive brand and will attract a wider range of customers and strengthen their market dominance. So who exactly we're talking about here? Singles, couples, people with no kids, retirees. Imagine your grandparents with the autonomous Tesla taxi. They jump in, enter the destination, and away it goes. Again, game changer. I'm oversaying it, but it's a thing. So it begs the question, why are no other car brands doing this? Sure, you've got Cruise, Argo AI, and Waymo, but they use bespoke Jaguar I-Pace and Chrysler Pacific hybrid minivans, which could have the driver controls removed, but we haven't seen that yet. Flip side of this argument, and to be fair to them, is that Tesla hasn't yet done true, unsupervised commercial autonomous trips like those companies are doing in Phoenix, Arizona, San Francisco, California, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Miami, Florida. I think that's right, yeah. So, if we are to believe Elon, will we? Shall we? I mean, he's been promising FSD since 2016. Then, if Tesla Taxi makes production of this vehicle by 2026 or 2027, and you buy either for just yourself, or if you're brave enough, you put it out into the world to get it earning you some money, I gotta ask. Come here. No, closer. I've got a genuine question for you. Even though this vehicle will cost about $30,000 American, well, we'll see. Or maybe $55,000 Australian when it finally gets here. Would you like to see your hard-earned prized joy going out and giving rise to people that you don't even know? I've done something very similar by sharing my car on EV Enduro. Subscribe to see that story next week, as what happened to me and others is pretty revealing and also disappointing about human behavior. It taught me that every time I said goodbye to my car and someone drove away with it, you don't know what's going to happen to it. And something inside of you says, yeah, I don't like this. So will you really have your Tesla, the one that you've worked really hard to get, put it out into the world and be earning an income or doing something else whilst you haven't got it? And I've got to say here, Elon, seriously mate, this utopian world you talk of with fewer cars because everyone is using Tesla taxis, will it decrease cars on our road? No. The result of people having a Tesla taxi or the Model 3 or Y and being able to put it into the Tesla taxi service will actually mean far more cars on our road, clogging them up as they go out and about and do trips, competing with other vehicles in the same space, along with other people who are driving their cars, only for your own car to come back to you to pick you up from work and take you home. It's actually going to increase traffic, I guarantee it. Your awkwardly named Robovan is a glorified battery electric tram. Nothing revolutionary here. Just go to Japan, I've got some videos coming out soon by the way, and see driverless services already running over there. No, people love their cars. They want their cars for them to use whenever they want. Sure, some clever business people will buy fleets of these things, millions of these things, and put them out to earn some money. But will it mean cheap transportation that will shift people away from taxis and Ubers? No, no it won't. The smart business person who reduces costs, they want to increase profits as much as possible. If you compete in the market and offer a service that fundamentally does the same thing of getting riders from A to B without some annoying chit chat, plus that big entertainment screen to help pass the time, that's actually a premium service. And would you charge less than your competitors? No, you wouldn't. So tell me I'm wrong, comment below. And I'll show you in 2030 this video again, where autonomous cars are a thing and being done by big auto. People will still be riding around in their own cars. Few will deploy their hard-earned car into a taxi service. So yeah, subscribe and yeah, tune in next week because it's pretty shocking. Anyway, I don't want to end on a downer, as what Tesla has shown here has a lot of promise. They are leading the market once again with a product and service that no other car maker is doing. Elon is doing what any good CEO does, and that is to pump up a product, doing a bit of hyperbole and get the stock market excited. Or not, but they had to, right? Tesla is carefully having to navigate the Osborne effect and introduce the Tesla Taxi without cannibalizing sales of its existing models, and this product will revolutionize the world. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribe. It absolutely helps out the channel. If you found it useful, maybe super thanks or Ko-fi is really appreciated too. And yeah, check out these videos if there's something here, probably is. And yeah, hope to see you real soon.